Hello everyone and welcome back to our subject matter. In today's video, we'll be talking about some items in the licensure exam as a review for students like you in the 4th year level for the teacher education department. And the first item here will be for general mathematics. It says Lynn and Cream jog around the oval in the same direction. It takes Lynn 6 minutes to complete one round of the oval, while it takes Cream 8 minutes. If they are together at 6:10 a.m., what is the earliest time that they would be together again? Okay, this type of problem requires your background in basic mathematics. And if we have here an illustration of the oval, let's say this point is the starting point, and every 6 minutes Lynn will complete one round, while every 8 minutes Cream will complete one round. Okay, so in other words, we'll be finding the smallest number in which it is a multiple of 6 and a multiple of 8, and finding the smallest number which is a multiple of two numbers, we call that one as the LCM, or the least common multiple. So our numbers here are 6 and 8. So what is the smallest number that is a multiple of 6 and 8? And the answer is 24, of course, because 24 is divisible by 6 and 24 is divisible by 8. And no other number smaller than 24 which is divisible by 6 and divisible by 8. So in other words, they will be together again after 24 minutes. So since they started at 6:10 a.m., we will add 24 minutes to 6:10 a.m. So that will be 6:10 a.m. okay, plus 24 minutes. So that will be equal to 6 o'clock and 34 minutes. Okay, so in the choices, we have the answer as letter B. Okay, most of the time, if you will observe the choices in some examination, the choices are arranged in either increasing or decreasing order. So be watchful with that small details regarding the choices in a given examination. So for item number 1, the answer is letter B. They will be together again at 6:34 a.m. Okay, let's move on to number 2. Number 2 problem says Kiko and Jose ran for president in a student's election. Kiko received 5/9 of the votes. If Jose received 180 votes, then how many students participated in the election? The question is, how many students participated in the election? So, we should not choose choice letter C and letter D because there are already 180 votes for Jose. So in other words, by the process of elimination, we'll eliminate letter C and letter D. So we'll be left only with the choices A and B, which is 342 and 405. Okay, so if 5/9 of the votes were for Kiko, then it means 4/9 of the votes were for Jose. So that is 4/9 of votes were 180 because 180 students vote for Jose. Okay, so in other words, 4/9 of n, 4/9 of n. N refers to the total number of students participated in the election is equal to 180. So when they say of, it means multiplication. So we'll multiply 4/9 times n equals 180. So it will be equal to n is equal to 180 divided by 4/9, and by simple algebra the answer would be 405. So based from the choices, the total number of students participated in the election is 405, and our answer is letter A. Okay, notice again in the arrangement of the choices, it is in decreasing order. Letter A is 405 and letter D is 80, and so it is decreasing. So be careful with those details. Okay, number 3 here states Noel has obtained the following grades: 1.7, 1.8, 2.1, and 2.4. What must be the 5th grade so that his average grade is 1.9? So this is averaging. When I say average, we have a sum and divided by the total number of cases, and the average here is 1.9. So in other words, if the average is 1.9, we'll multiply that by 5 so that we can get the total. And if we'll multiply 5 by 1.9, the answer is 9.5. Okay, but still the question is what must be the 5th grade. Okay, so the total of the 4 given grades here, if we will add 1.7 plus 1.8 plus 2.1 plus 2.4, the answer is 8. So in other words, to get the 5th grade, you must subtract only 8 from 9.5. So 9.5 minus 8 is equal to 1.5. Okay, so that would be the required 5th grade so that your average will be 1.9. In our choices, that would be letter B. Okay, in number 4 here, by the way, if you want to answer the question before the solution that we are discussing here, you may pause the video and answer on your own and double check if you got the correct answer. Okay, so number 4, a survey on a group of cancer patients revealed that 70% of them were smokers. If there were 210 cancer patients who were smokers, how many cancer patients are there in all? This is somewhat similar to the previous problem because it requires the total number of patients. Okay, but take note of the choices. We have here 63, 147, 300, 700, and 720. But in the given problem, there were already 210 cancer patients who were smokers. So by elimination, we'll not choose letter A and letter B because both of them are smaller than 210. So we'll be left again with 3 choices only: 300, 700, or 720. Okay, take note of this phrase here: 70% of them were smokers. This "them" refers to the total number of cancer patients. Okay, so our solution would be 70. Okay, 70% times n is equal to 210. So by computation, our n now would be equal to 210 divided by, this is 70%, so we will transform that first in decimal, so that is 0.7 or 0.70, and it would be equal to 300. Okay, so 300 in our choices is letter C. The correct answer is letter C. Anyway, when you will be having your licensure exam, you are allowed to have or to bring with you your own calculator. So if you could not follow the exact solution mathematically, then the best choice for you is to directly substitute the choices. the problem using your calculator. Okay, so be careful in plugging in the choices. It will take some time. Okay, so let's move on to number 5. Number 5 here, what is the worth in pesos of the 50 peso bills which are consecutively counted from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 to 1, 2, 3, 5, 2, 4. And it's a 50 peso bill is a bill. So the given numbers here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 123,457 to 123,524. You need to subtract that. Okay, so that you will identify how many bills we have from 123,524 and 123,457. By the way, in the choices, choice A is 67, choice B is 68. So I think we need to eliminate A and B, because when they say 50 peso bill, our answer should be divisible by 50. And 67 and 68 is not divisible by 50. So we'll be left only with choice C and D. Okay? So the very first step that you should do is to subtract 123,524 minus 123,457. Okay? And the answer is 67. But since we are counting peso bill from 123,457, we need to include the first 50 peso bill. So our total number of bills should be 68. Okay? So to get the worth in pesos, you need to multiply only 68 times 50. So 68 times 50 is equal to 3,400. Okay, so in the choices, 3,400 pesos is letter D. So letter D is our correct answer. Okay, here in number 6, the problem says a book is sold at 40% discount. If Ray paid 90 pesos for the book, what is its original price? So in this problem, I think we need to eliminate choice A and choice B, because Ray already paid 90 pesos and choice A is 36 and choice B is 54. So A and B will be discarded from the option for the correct answer, and we will be left with option C, D, and A. Okay, since 40% is the discount, it means that the original price is 60%. Okay, and 60% of the original price is 90 pesos. So I will write that in an equation. 60% of the original price is equal to 90 pesos, because the book was sold at 90 pesos after deducting 40% discount. So the question is, what is the original price? So our equation will be 0.60. You will multiply that by the original price, and you will equate that to 90. And original price now is equal to 90 divided by 0.60, which is equal to 150. Okay, so this is now the original price. In our options, the correct answer is letter C here, 150 pesos. Observe that the choices are arranged in increasing order from 36 to 250, and we eliminated immediately 36 and 54 because obviously they were not the correct answer. Okay, so that's all for number 6. Let's move on to number 7. Number 7 here, what is the volume of a cube if one face has a perimeter of 36 inches, 36 centimeters? The answer is volume. What is the volume? What is asked is the volume of a cube. But the given is a perimeter of one face. Okay, do not automatically compute for 36 times 36 times 36 because that would be wrong, because that is a perimeter, that is not a measure of one side. And also, do not get the square root of 36 and raise to the third power, because that is also an error. In other words, what shall we do first is to get the measure of the one face of the cube. So if this is the cube in our illustration, then the perimeter of one face is 36. So what would be the measure of the edge? For example, this is the edge. Perimeter of the square. Anyway, the face of a cube, one face of the cube is a square. So to get the perimeter of the square, you need to add the 4 measurement of the sides. So since the perimeter of is 36, you need to divide that by 4, and the answer is 9. So this 9 is the measure of the edge. So after getting this 9, to get the volume, then you need to multiply 9 3 times. So the solution would be volume of the cube is equal to 9 times 9 times 9, okay, which is 729 centimeter cube. And 9 times 9 is 27. And 9 times 9 is 81. 81 times 9 is 729. But since the question is what is the volume, you need to have a unit which is in centimeter cubic units. So 729 here is letter B. So letter B is our correct answer. Okay. Number 8. What number can replace n so that the number 3,782,006 is divisible by 36? The best way to get the answer immediately is to use the method plugging in, okay, or to plug in. In plugging in values, you need to start with letter C. Question is why? Because this is the middle choice out of the 5 choices. So when you plug 3 to letter N, there will be a decimal part. You may check that with your calculator. So the decimal, if you plug 3 for N, is 0.555, I think. 0.555. This is the decimal part. So in other words, there is an excess because we are dividing by 36. So do not choose letter D, because when you choose number 4, the excess, the decimal part, will have more excess. So your best way to choose from the choices is only letter A and letter B. So when we will plug number 2 to N, there is still a decimal part, but it is 0.2777. So notice that the decimal part is getting smaller. So when you plug in here 4, then the decimal part will be bigger. So the best choice is to go back to choice B or choice A. So since choice letter B has still a decimal part, so this is not yet divisible by 36, so the best choice is letter A. You change N to 1, exactly, it is divisible now by 36. So So the technique that we use here in number 8 is plugging in. Why? Because during your exam, solution is not required. You're just to select one answer out of the choices. So make use of your calculator. Okay? Number 9. Simplify 7 squared plus 8 times 6 minus 100 divide 4 divided by 2 cubed. This one requires basic operations. And in performing operations, in basic math, we are following the PEMDAS rule. Okay? Parenthesis first, then exponent, multiplication, then division, then addition and subtraction from left to right. So, if we'll simplify the given problem, the parenthesis will be equal to 49, that is 7 squared, plus 8 times 6 is 48, minus 100 divided 4 is 25, and 2 cubed is 8. Okay, and this will be equal to 97 minus 25, okay, divided by 8. This is divided by 8 from the given problem. Fraction bar means division, so that is division. And we'll have here 72 divided by 8, and the answer is 9. So from the choices, 9 is letter B, so the answer is letter B. Remember PEMDAS rule. Whenever you encounter series of operations, basic operations with parentheses, exponents, and the 4 basic operations, you will just use PEMDAS rule from left to right. Don't forget that. Okay? Last item. If a person sleeps 7.5 hours a day, what part of the day does he spend sleeping? So, 7.5 hours a day means 7.5 hours. Okay, 7.5 hours. Question is, what part of the day is 7.5 hours? Because it's the question. What part of the day does he spend sleeping? So, the solution is here is very simple. 24, because there are 24 hours in a day. So 24 hours times what part, I will represent that what part as x, is equal to 7 and 1/2 hours. Okay. The given problem, we are using decimals, so I think we'll stick to decimals. 7.5 hours. Okay. So x is equal to 7.5 divided by 24, and the answer is 7.5 or 7.5 divided by 24. Answer is 15 over 48, or if we'll reduce that one, because 15 and 48 is reducible by 3, so that will become 5 over 16. This 5 over 16 hours is the answer. So in the choices, 5 over 16 is letter B, so that's the answer. So far so good. Those were the first 10 items that we have discussed in analyzing licensure examinations in general mathematics, and I hope that this video will help you. In the next video, I'll be talking about the remaining items also for general mathematics. Thank you very much and see you soon.